Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the MTG Arena Run, and today we are taking a look at the Unbroken Blade event. So this is a special event. It's singleton again, but and on one hand I actually kind of like it as singleton because it's there is still quite a bit of variance. That said, usually with singleton formats, you kind of want to keep yourself to at least as much as possible one color. Maybe you could splash a little bit, but despite the picture of having the picture of samurais here, for the most part, it's not easy to rely on the strategy that much. Also, I didn't want to start investing in the samurai alchemy cards quite yet. So that said, we are going to go with classic standby singleton white. Now, for this event, we are leaning heavily towards 1-drops and 2-drops. So we have quite a good number of 1-drops here. Some of it are removal. Most of it is on the 2-drop territory. As much as possible, you want to get an early creature down. This event heavily rewards going first. In fact, I could say that mono red is probably the next best one, having access to a lot of haste, which is a big deal. That said, having removal that's not tied to damage when creatures can grow obscenely big is a bit of a boon also. So I guess those are the two colors that are competing. Mono green is quite in there, and mono black as well. Mono blue never really had a chance. We are running the equivalent of 22 lands. So it is a little bit light for my tastes. I guess we can make an argument for cutting one of the 2-drops or the 3-drops in favor of another land, but we're running it as is. We are not running as many man lands, which is what we would usually do, but we just wanted to keep it simple here. We're going to give this one a shot here. This is pretty much the only one I've managed to go all the way to 4 wins. I've originally tried a red-green build. I think the most I've gotten that out was I think 3 wins, but it generally hovered between 1 and 2 wins. And there are instances where I get 0 wins at that. And speaking of wins, we could lead with the Allenbach Escort. It will always have vigilance, but this is a bit weak. You know what? We're gonna gamble with this one. This is probably a mistake. If our opponent has any more, we'll take it back because we didn't get extremely punished, and our opponent's running white-blue, which is a bit weird. And we're just gonna run out the Talia, Guardian of Traven. So if our opponent is hoping to hit Doomscar, they're gonna have to wait a turn. Oh, they're running Gates of Isfel. So this looks like a true blue control Foretell. I'm super strange at that. Now we could just swing for the full 4, but we do want to just get the counter on Talia. Not like we're not casting either of these anytime soon. Best bet is to just drop the Luminar Aspirant, put the counter on it. That should give us some choice with the Allenbach Escort. Well, it's actually running Esper, so they did have the Doomscar. That said, we do eventually want to trade the Talia off. I'm expecting our opponent to have some sort of removal along those lines. Professor of Symbology, okay. Let's see what our opponent gets. They might be getting environment. No, they're going for necrotic fumes, though they are missing the man. They are terribly missing the mana here. This is an exile effect, so Valorous Stance not gonna do much here. Might as well say X e. Wait. Yeah, might as well say X equals 2. We're just gonna. Oh no, we can't because of our. No, it's X equals 1. Hold on. And no, that's gonna take a lot of cards. Hold on. No, pass. Sorry, opponent. Okay, we did hit our third mana now, so have to be careful of board wipes. But in that case, we are in no rush to. Actually, I could just swing with both. Yeah, opponent's gonna ditch in front of that. That's kind of fine. So this allows us to land the Valorous. Opponent goes Behold the Multiverse, so they're actually drawing into cards. Okay, this is actually interesting. This is probably the first true, I wouldn't say true control deck. I've only barely seen a few cards. Opponent's going for the 6. Kyrie, Discerning Sky. So when it dies, choose 1, return any number of. Oh wait. Okay. So this is X equals 6, so that's 3 cards. Okay, so we've been the Orator, we've been Maul, we've been Skyplay Evaporation. Target. Hold on. What's the ward cost here? Ward 3. And we have to pay actual hard mana for this, so probably gonna pass. Okay, so 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we have. So X equals 6. We actually might need to bin all 4 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Super feel bad. Yeah, that was a real feel bad, but Kyrie is simply too busted to leave alive. Opponent going for the wedding announcement. Yeah, we're gonna actually try to take our opponent down to 5 first before we do anything. Not so sure if that's the correct play. Our opponent could easily just drop a creature and just exile right away. We're kind of relying on this Sigarden Evangel to clear the path, I suppose. Opponent could have easily gone down to 1 if they wanted to keep a token. Lost Spider.
We will slay our enemies.
This is a bit awkward. Yeah, we kind of wish we had 1 more mana. We would have been able to clear everything. Oh, we're not blocking anytime soon. We are still in a load of trouble though. Opponent can take out Talia at last, though that will eat up all their black mana. I would not be surprised if our opponent's limitation was just the black mana.
I'll tell you a secret.
Technically, they just need Okay, another bad part here would be Meat Hook Massacre. They finally have the 2 black mana. They could just go X equals 3 with the 4 of this. That would be a really big deal. And though our opponent did go for the draw a card first, so that probably means they didn't have it in hand. We're trying to see if they still do. Or they'll kind and make a double.
I would run.
So yeah, we really have to overextend now with by playing Welcoming Fam. I could swing with everything, but there are enough choice blocks that everything gets taken out, so we're gonna pass. Yeah, this is not looking good for us. Our opponent can now just use the Necrotic Fumes on the Welcoming Vampire, probably the best target, I would say. Opponent not going for more card draw, no doggo quite yet.
Insight.
We could actually still lose this one. The game actually went way too long for our comfort. Now that I think of it, we also had to burn 4 cards just on the Kyrie, which is super miserable. Would we have been better off with our opponent returning stuff? Maybe. We might just take the tree. Opponent clearly has a board wipe, which makes the attack weird.
Aren't I the generous one?
Well, it means it's not a Meat Hook Massacre.
My power is for annihilation.
No, it's a Path of Perils. It's just a clean board wipe. So having Chaplain's actually not so bad.
I
The
will
opponent
come.
does have the 2.
My will cannot be denied.
Yeah, opponent has a full grip. Yeah, the otherworldly journey on Kyrie might have been a mistake. We might have been better off just stacking something big, having everything bounce back. That would have been a lot. That might have been better. I thought we would have been able to get through, but looks like we were kind of mistaken there.
You fight for the
Opponent
entire
is now just gonna
multiverse
keep
is
up.
my library.
Our winning chance here would involve removal for the token.
My hatred lives.
Emeria's Call. We kind of need a bunch of angels to go with that. Still can't swing with Shieldgeist. Yeah, this is gonna just run out. That's the Memory Deluge. Yeah, not a great start for us here. All things considered, we did quite well for a one-lander, but yeah, I think throwing all 4 of these was a mistake. What were the modes that Kyrie had? Return any total 6 number to their owner's hands. We would be starting again from scratch. I think that might have been the better play. Now, if our opponent swings with that, that's a 5-4. No blocks. Yeah, we kind of lost this one. With our opponent regaining life, we're now not gonna be able to get past this. We'll see what we draw next, but it's super unlikely.
It's bold to bargain with me.
Technically we do have 1 reset switch, but
Dire times call for
yeah,
dire tactics.
yeah, it's not gonna work here. We're gonna concede this one. Yeah, unfortunately, giving up the 4 cards was probably a big mistake there. We were much better off just letting them bounce stuff, I guess. We'd let them bounce stuff, we would still have a full grip, we would be able to catch up. So, not a great start here, but I would blame it on the pilot, not the deck. We have to remember that White has a very hard time getting card advantage, so they have to get as much advantage on the board as possible. Ditching 4 cards for 1 creature is not advantage. We were better off taking it out on combat, so Opponent has Ether of Virtue. So we do have the Apparition on tree. Let's see if our opponent has removal. That's fine. Also, no excess. So, wait. This is how much damage? 4 damage. So there is 2 excess damage. We're gonna just run the Captain Eberhard just to slow our opponent down a bit. This is probably gonna just eat the removal spell if our opponent doesn't have anything for this. Yeah, Aki Ronin. Not the removal spell quite yet. Well, we're the ones with the removal spell, so we're going to do that. We're actually gonna just eat the... Yeah, we're actually gonna just eat the Ether of Virtue, I guess? No. Oh, and this is probably a very good use case for the tokens. Opponent definitely going to have removal soon. Kiri. Equip. Unfortunately, this is a soldier, so Selfless Samurai doesn't quite combo here. Sparring Regiment, however, does quite combo here. So, gonna get the Reduced to Memory. Gonna swing with Eberhard. Now, at least it's kind of out of range of removal. Our opponent will need to... Yeah, and we're still keeping the Selfless Samurai among all the other interactions here. Now, 7-5. First strike, so it will trade. Although, we did get Reduced to Memory, so... Hold on, let's see. What's the... What is... Yeah, opponent concedes there. They know that we're just about to reduce this. Yeah, we were gonna get past that. That's actually one of the other reasons I adopted the mono white strategy. The learn lesson package. While we do have only 3 cards that learn, Professor Symbology, the Guiding Voice, and the Sparring Regimen, they're all quite good enough that they're all quite good enough to run on their own. That well, the Symbology needs the lessons, but you get the idea. It's still a solid 2-1 for 2. And the Guiding Voice, despite just being a 1-mana 1/1 counter, it actually can mess up a lot of combat here. So, yeah, that was a good reason to run the package. Unfortunately, the other colors have it a little bit harder. Green, it's a little bit too high up. So, we probably go for the farmhand because we want to hit 4 mana. Let's see if our opponent has the 1-drop. Usually it's Pack Leader or Sentinel. Actually, no, there's the new Kami. That one's actually a very good one. It ramps up your mana. If you're going for the red-green build, that's a good one. Okay, so Sentinel for now. Kinda wish we landed the portable pull. For now, I guess Naturalist. Send in Pack Leader, so they are gonna go quite wide for the time being. Since we already have the 4 mana, we're just gonna go for that. We're just gonna go for the Aspirant. We want to force them to at least attack with Naturalist or something. Next turn, we can go Companion Guiding Voice or Guiding Voice into something else. So opponent is gonna have like 5 mana up, which is a big deal, and we don't have any of our. Well, we have 1 removal, but it's going to be a bit of a while before we get there. Opponent not running any Snowland, so at least I'm not worried about Blizzard Brawl, but I'm kind of worried about their 4-drop, 5-drop. There is actually a very busted 6-drop for me to worry about also. But for now, let's just see what the 4-drop possibility is. Also, at least Guiding Voice into a potential Arlen the Pack's Hope. So this grows a little bit.
Fight for humans where there are no lone wolves here.
I would love to play Maul of the Skyclaves. It will force our opponent to have removal. The problem is, yeah, our opponent just might have removal. So we're gonna just go for Spirited Companion, give ourselves a blocker. I guess we're just gonna Guiding Voice. Aspirant, let's take the Reduce to Memory. We could attack, put a counter here, but we will be having a problem with the Naturalist again. We're gonna actually, we could just either leave this as a 4/4, have these block, but this doesn't get to block anything. Or the problem is if we attack, this doesn't. It's either we grow. Yeah, we're in a bit of a pickle here. We're gonna just grow the Companion for a while, a bit. We kind of try to dissuade the go white. Opponent probably just goes tall, but we can just throw the Spirited Companion in front if that's the case.
Follow the enemy's scent. They're close.
Yeah, as you can see, going turn 1 with the 1-drop is usually very big deal. I would love to drop this at 5 mana, but let's see how our opponent attacks. If our opponent goes okay, we actually have to also be careful because these have flash. So opponent's just throwing the wolf. Actually, no, we don't have to block. I was expecting a big go wide attack. If they're just attacking with that, we're fine. So this only gives flying and first strike. We're gonna put it on the Companion, so, and just make sure we drop our 2 spells. Let's see if our opponent has removal for this. Also, it enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter, so that might be an issue. We still have to snipe Arlen anyway. So we're gonna decline to pay 1 life because our opponent has a Jasper Sentinel available. They could also just have straight. No, they're just gonna give up this Sentinel. I'm fine with that. Goldspan Dragon, but they blocked or so we're about to take a hit from a dragon. Let's see, how do we avoid taking hits from other creatures? We put it on the Aspirant. Opponent can just do the +1 thing here. We're about to take 6.
The darkness won't hide our enemies from us.
We're about to take 6 if our opponent just swings with Goldspan. If they swing with everything, we take 5, but we have opportunities to block. The nice thing at least is we don't have to. We'll just decline for now. Let's see if our opponent gives up the Goldspan Dragon, which is kind of no, they're actually. Yep, yeah, I was gonna say it's kindly unlikely.
Now the wilds are threatened.
So I do have some choices here. I could actually just force the flip again because these wolves are way too big for my comfort. Time to floor even, that's actually fine. And then we could just we just reduce the dragon to memory. Oh yeah, because it only triggers an attack now. So we got that back down to a 3/3. Let's make this a 2/4. So shrinking stuff down again. Opponent does have 6 mana, so well 7 mana if they attack with Naturalist. So opponent probably wants to swing with either the pack leader or the spirit. But at least we got rid of the biggest, well, at least we got rid of some of the biggest threats out there. Yeah. Opponent now going all in. Let's see if their last card is... So we go down to 6. If we hit one more land, I can... Oh wait, we will hit one more land. No, they will just pay for that, but that's fine. It's only a cost reduction. It's nothing that big. We will hit one... Oh wait, no. We had... The Proctor had to die if we wanted to hit one more land. So at least this has first strikes, but we have to cast... Opponent's about to attack with everything. Also, let's do some math. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we can only take these two. We will be forced to block with this, which I'm fine with. But we have to get rid of something. And we need to gain some life too in the process. So we'll get rid of the pack leader.
You are not much of a roadblock.
Unfortunate that we have to do it on our turn, but we cannot let these guys flip either. Also, we have to remember that this might activate, so that is another math thing to do. Yep, that's another math thing to do. So let's... So definitely blocking this. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, that's too much damage. So 3, 6, 8. Yeah, we were kind of dead already. We took way too much damage in the process. So that was not a good showing for this one. We will do this one again. It's we've only just started here. But yeah, it's a very big loss if you don't go first. It's actually one of the weird cases where I'd say that emblem that taxes your opponent for that adds a tax for going first, definitely needed for this event. It makes because the punishment for going second is simply way too much. So let's see if we can avoid going. Let's see if we can avoid going sec. In fact, I think all our losses were with us going second, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there's just too much advantage going first. Although I would say that in the first game that did not necessarily translate because that was a control deck. But yeah, it's a very big difference if you go first, you start landing the aggro first, and your opponent goes first. They start landing the aggro first, and you're on defense, and you don't have the removal on hand. It's kind of why I like mono white. The removal is in such a way that you don't have to worry about their power and toughness for the most part. The Valorous stance is actually quite good in that it... So we do get to go first, which is a big deal. And we do have removal. And with enough attacks, we can actually just cash in the counters and just take out an enchantment if it gets to that point. But yeah, we're definitely leading on this. Opponent might have removal of their own, depending on the colors, but but this is what we have to run with. I'm starting to think that most of the time we're not gonna reach the mana for Emeria's Call, but then again, we did see a control deck, so and they did reach the mana. Opponent goes green, just for a sentinel. So this is where we have the advantage. Now, depending what our... Now, we might actually just drop the Lion Sash. Now, this does nothing on itself. We actually have to eat something. But the fact that our opponent is going in for the... Well, usually the first exchange is kind of even. It's really the second drop that determines things. So, Caryatid... We do have to take the hit, unfortunately. Now we could actually just bin the Sash at this point, because we know we're not gonna, our opponent's not gonna get anything. Now, okay, now the snow mana concerns me. That's Blizzard Brawl waiting to happen. The nice thing is that if our so we're just gonna mess up the math a bit. Yeah. Okay, we do have the Welcoming Vampire option. I'm concerned we're just gonna keep swing first. I'm probably just gonna play the Selfless Samurai right now. It's pretty much just there to block or protect the Hopeful Initiate. Not. Opponent had Boseiju, which I'm actually fine with. That, although let's see, another target creature. So yes, we will dig for a basic land. Shame. Okay, it doesn't ETB tap. We're gonna pass. See if our opponent wants to draw Froghemoth. We're in a bit of a quandary here. This has trample. It will eat a bunch of stuff. We're not gonna be able to hit it. We're going to have to hope that they don't have the... Oh wait, if it swings, he won't have the mana. So we're gonna let that resolve. Yeah, incidental removal. It's a good thing we didn't pull that trigger too quickly. Now our opponent could have another big threat. But yeah, we were just gonna go for it. So we managed to take out mono green there. I would say the Elysian Caryat, yeah, they were relying on ramp to hit big creatures, but honestly the better plan was to take advantage of the mid-range creatures. Though it is singleton and green doesn't actually have that many mid-range creatures. So that would probably have been an issue. It needed to accelerate. Also, thank you to our opponent for providing us that land. I actually thought it was gonna ETB tap. That's how it usually does. So the planes coming in untapped was a big deal. And like we were doing so much to play around the Tameo Safekeeping or Snakeskin Veil, though. Yeah, the way our opponent had to tap that mana. That was a thing. It's actually Actually, it is kind of late right now at the time of this recording. As soon as I'm done with this recording, I am gonna get some shut eye. I probably also should start working on the splash on the thumbnail screen for this, since I'm gonna be posting this kind of right away. Yeah. So I'm gonna be slightly distracted while I'm doing this, but we should be fine. So we do get to go first. We get Chaplain at Arms, which is perfect. We have Fateful Absence for our opponent's next threat, which is also fine. Then we can go for a Sparring Regiment to go over the top. If our opponent doesn't drop anything turn 2, we can... There's also Adeline, which is a very big deal. So any card with Ward is a big... Well, like if you... Sure of Fallen, so definitely warding through that. And in fact, we can just do Sun Gold Sentinel. I would love to Fateful Absence, but I suspect we might want to save it for something else our opponent drops. Also, it looks like this might be a mono-white matchup, so Sun Gold Sentinel is really, really good here. Although... the fact our opponent did not play another land means we get to mess them up a bit. Oh, white-red. So we're actually gonna do Sparring Regiment first. One, because it gives us access to removal. It's either removal or we go into the Introduction to Prophecy or Expanded Anatomy. Actually, Environmental Sciences might not be bad either, but we'll take the Reduced to Memory. And now our opponent is going to need to have their own Fateful Absence. Thundering Rebuke is fine if they have the third... well, this will ETB on tap, so they should be able to... Oh no, they went for the Scry. Sigarden Evangel, so it taps. That's fine. They needed a blocker. I guess that makes sense. So we are now running Shine the Mana, but we can. So at this point, we probably stop paying life here. Because, yeah, if we suspect our opponent's gonna just chump block, we don't send it in, especially against some... Ooh. 4 red mana is... If it's Towndracer Tyrant, it's unfortunate that I... No, Brutal Catar, plus the 1 mana, so they get to select the Chaplain. So... But that's still fine. We did get our 4th mana. So we have Fateful Absence as an option, but we kind of don't need the Chaplain anymore at this rate. So we're actually gonna just auto-pay. Send the whole team in. Probably gonna actually just pump the token here. Ooh, wow. So opponent might have an answer for the adversary, but I'm perfectly fine with that. Rage. So it's pay 3 life just to target that, sure. And we have the March of Otherworldly Light in case we need to. But yeah, we're just gonna send the full team in. Sparring Regiment untaps the Intrepid Adversary. Yeah, as you can see, going first is just way too busted here. especially if you build your deck around it. Opponent might have a Cinder class. Nope. Yeah, we just went. Yeah, we just went too far there. Okay, but as you can see, that is kind of what we expected. No, that is the art for a Sorry Captain. Just actually, I need to double check. Is that? Yeah, I think that is. Oh, it's a really close-up art of the Sorry Captain. Hold on. So anyway, let's just go. Let's keep going while I still do some prep here. Also, who this? Shiharu. At least I. Unfortunately, we only have the low res version. Oh wait. No, there we go. Not so high res, but it's quite good. So just doing a little bit of art asset editing. Something that you get quite used to. Although I wish I had the close up for this one, but it's already quite blurry as it is. Yeah, unfortunate. Well, I could still search for a higher res version of this. Hold on. What if we type showcase? Oh wait, there you go. That's a much better art. Yeah, it's also a big test of your Google foo. Oh, that's much better. In fact, I might be able to zoom in on. Okay, not quite zoom in. We do get the turn 1 drop, and we also get Fleeting Spirit if you want to be really annoying. I would say Selfless Samurai is a lot better, but actually no. Captain Everheart is probably the best option here. It's force our opponent to cast removal at least. Loyal War. Now let's see if our opponent trades. No, they don't block. Which lets us go Chaplain Pole. That did not sound right. Now they might still have an answer for Captain Eberhard, which sad, but oh, wedding announcement. I wouldn't. That's more of an annoyance than an answer. I might just play Redain just to. I might just play Redain actually, because our opponent's next king is probably gonna be a 4-drop. So if we can delay that, we will. So we can afford to take another ping here. Opponent's most likely gonna chump. Oh no, they're not chumping tokens yet. They probably have Rite of Oblivion. That's pretty much the only reason not to chump. Which makes perfect sense. In this situation, I would have taken the 6/2 just to finally get rid of Eberhard as well. Let's see. It does mean Redain goes next over the top. We pretty much have to play Redain immediately. Oh, they have their own Redain. So, well, at least we get to draw a card. Let's see what we hit. Hopeful Initiate. No, nothing in the yard quite yet. So we're actually gonna swing, because we do have the advantage over this. We kind of, by getting to go first. Now we need to decide. Okay, we're gonna drop Selfless Samurai next. It gives us one shot. It's basically protection from anything except exile. Opponent attacked with the token as well. And they might have forgotten that you don't get the effect. They might have damage based removal. The Black March would do that. White. That would not do that. That impact ETB's tap. Paladin class, sure. I have no idea what our opponent kept, but our opponent is in trouble. Yeah, opponent packed it in. It's we had the turn 1 first turn. Our opponent did not have a 1 drop. They had a 2 drop, which we promptly took care of. And afterwards they were doing catch up. White is probably a mistake. You really don't want to avoid creatures that can't block immediately. Unless you have a way to untap it or something to that effect. But there we go. We're 1 win away, but I'm not holding my breath quite yet for it. Although it'd be nice to get that win immediately. I am feeling quite tired right now. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna get blurry at this point, so let's just. And this is called the Unbroken Blade. I also need to take a screenshot of the emblem. Now, I actually debated whether I should play the deck that I felt was fun and the deck that kind of wins. Unfortunately, I feel like you have to go for the deck that kind of wins. Okay, so no turn 1, but we do have a symbology that can grab. We have symbology into Redain. We can grab removal if we need to. We can afford to lose once, although I really hope that doesn't happen. When it goes red. Spirited Companion is also an option. We'll go Professor first. Professor has the potential to deal a lot more damage. And we do need to take Reduce to Memory to... Reduce to Memory, simply too good. Snipes almost everything. Although our opponent naming red... Well, running Temple of the Dragon Queens, usually it's held that you have a dragon somewhere. So, Reduce is pretty much good. It's pretty much important if you don't have anything else. Although it could just be to make the mana work, so it's not necessarily a dragon deck. Opponent goes Captain Everhard. So we can just do Sparring Regimen, because I would rather just do Redain Guiding Voice next turn. And this allows us to actually just get more removal. Although our opponent's about to dome us for 4, though if they do pay the 1 life, we actually break even here. So this actually opens us up to reduce Guiding Voice as an alternate plan. This actually might be the first time we get to play all our learned cards. Now, there is an argument of whether we want to block this, because we do have Reduce to Memory as an option. I say we take for now, because it's still just break even. Opponent has had the Skyclave Apparition, though if they just take out the Sparring Regimen, that's actually fine. See if our opponent chump blocks, which I highly doubt. We can do Redeem Guiding Voice next turn. It will get eaten up by Captain Eberhard if ever, but it's probably the better option. Alternately, I could have gone. Also, since we know we're about to hit a lot of mana, I'm so tempting to go Mascot Exhibition, but I think we want to take Introduction here. I actually had no idea. Now, let's see if our opponent happens to have the Brutal Qatar to also nuke out Redain, in which case we are in serious trouble. They did have the Brutal Qatar. Okay, so as I said, now opponent swings with, yeah, they should swing with 1. It's the same amount of damage. We can go Reduce now, I guess. Introduction to Annihilation is also a possible plan. Either case, we're swinging with Symbology. We're probably not gonna tick it up that much. So now we can just go Spirited Companion, draw a card. We also know that unless they have like blue mana in a way to copy that. Yeah, actually I have to remember that they might have a burn spell. Sacred Fire, that gains them a bit of life. They don't have the mana to flash it back, but if they have another burn spell, it's kind of over for us. So yeah, we kind of thought our opponent having the incidental Skyclave Brutal Qatar was a big deal. This is a good red splash, I would say, though. We could have actually taken Academic Probation if I'm not mistaken. I actually wish there. Oh, you can view your sideboard here. Yeah, we could have taken Academic Probation and just name just name Captain Eberhard. Let's see. Do they have the burn spell? Not quite yet. Well, of course we're blocking. I'm trying to think if they have a way to give trample. Actually, let's see. If they have a way to give trample, it probably buffs the power anyway, so we're dead in either case. Okay, no, they did not have a way to buff trample. I was trying to remember if Run Amok was reprinted in standard. When it has wedding announcement, they are going all out. And a rapid battery. super sideways. So let's see. We definitely need to land a creature. We're definitely also going to nuke Eberhard as well. We could also nuke the wedding announcement, but we can kind of wait on that for a bit. We did just give our opponent a way to kill Professor Symbology, but hold on. Although if they have to go out of their way to reconfigure the rabbit battery onto it, it's actually fine. Yeah, but do they have removal? They might have removal. We'll see. Because I'm okay with trading it, actually. Then they, guys, that's actually fine. Also, this has vigilance, so let's see how our opponent blocks. Oh, that's fine.
Anyone who harms my people must contend with. Strike fast and strike hard.
Now our opponent could stack this on top of something, and this doesn't have the first strike anymore, so that becomes an issue. Yeah, but we did need to kind of did need to clear the tokens out a bit. Angel Fire Ignition. We could block it. Doesn't do much, so we're actually gonna let and the fact they went after the Wandering Emperor instead.
Try not to miss me.
Okay. Now, just to prevent any additional shenanigans, we're going to steal the rabbit battery. We get to swing with this because it actually gets flying. Opponent down to 2, but they do have Angel Fire Ignition again. They could make, yeah, they could make something of 5/5, which is an issue. Do we just take the 5, go up to then just hit back for 7? Yeah, the math is a little bit complicated here. Because there's 2 things our opponent could do. They could go for the Angel Fire Ignition. That will gain them a bit of life. It puts 2 +1/+1 counters, but it won't be enough to kill it. And if it's not enough to kill us, we can just actually swing up top. The correct play technically is to go Twin Blade Geist. No, they went Ignition on the token. So that's a 5. But we can take it. Now they did not have the burn spell. Yeah, Thunderous Orator just copies the flying. Yeah, the correct play would wait. Let's double check because I'm only seeing the regular. Oh no, the disturb cost is 2 and a white. This is actually the more correct play. The double strike would have been lethal. I would have been forced to block with Redain or Orator. Most likely, yeah, it would end up trading, but it would take one card off the board. As it is, that the Angel Fire Ignition looked really good, but it felt like a real. I think if our opponent had played one more red mana, it would have given room for pause. But there we go. We actually got all the way there. And we get to claim our prize. So, yeah, unfortunately, we learned the most... Okay, so also that means I can stop playing the event already. So definitely you will not be seeing me play this event anymore. I already claimed everything at that point. That's going to be it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications, and whatnot. Might as well crack this pack for you guys. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Yeah, Wayward Guide Piece. Why?